two news stories, same event, two completely different realities. One is packed with details, outrage, and a clear explanation of what happened. The other, well, it's a vague, watered-down press release that conveniently ignores every important fact. My name is Sirius. This is Unfluenced. We're getting a lot of mixed messages here, so let's get right into it. Now, today we're breaking down the wild differences in how the media is reporting on a Palestinian activist, who, despite being here on a student visa, decided that organizing violent protests and allegedly inciting riots was a great way to say thank you to his host country. Now, if you read one news source, you'd think that President Trump just randomly snatched some poor guy off the street and now ICE is dragging him to the airport, kicking and screaming. But if you read another news source, you'd realize that this activist is actually a foreign national who led violent protests, allegedly supported a terrorist organization, and was not so shockingly targeted for deportation. So which is it? What story is true? The innocent victim of government oppression, or a radical agitator getting exactly what he deserves? Well, let's find out. Breaking news. You want a free education and the right to cause chaos? Just protest, riot, and magically become untouchable. Ah, yes, folks. Today we have another fine example of why you should never trust the media, or the justice system for that matter, because apparently when a foreign student organizes violent protests, causes property damage, and, supports a terrorist group, the only real crime is holding him accountable? Let's dive into this absolute absurdity of how this story is being reported. The tale of two news articles. Now, first, we have the Gateway Pundit, which dares to do something radical, actually include the facts in their reporting. We're talking about Mahmoud Khalil. Mahmoud is on a student visa. He has been leading violent, destructive protests. ICE detained him and revoked his visa. Now, Trump is enforcing actual immigration laws, and then, as if on cue, an Obama-appointed federal judge swoops in like a superhero and says, "Not so fast. We must protect this poor, oppressed, foreign agitator from the consequences of his own actions." Then, we get the PBS version of events, and oh boy, this is a masterpiece of journalistic fiction. Now, this is a major story, so PBS needs to report on it, but it seems since the USAID money has run out, they're barely reporting, and apparently they're doing it under duress. There's no mention of Khalil's visa status. There's no mention of the violent protests. There's no mention of property damage or injuries. There's no mention of his support for Hamas, a designated terrorist organization. No, according to PBS, Mahmoud Khalil is just a Palestinian activist who led protests. That's it. That's the entire story. This is next level propaganda. If PBS had covered 9/11, their headline would have been, "Two planes land at World Trade Center, tragically causing a fire." Ridiculous. Now, the media's peaceful protest illusion. Remember when we were told that the 2020 riots were mostly peaceful, while we watched cities literally burn in the background? Yeah, we're doing that again. So let's be crystal clear. Mahmoud Khalil isn't just protesting. He's leading riots that are causing property damage. He's injuring people and spreading violent rhetoric. But because he's protesting for a cause that the lamestream media loves, he gets the deluxe victim treatment. See, the rules don't apply to him. He's allowed to destroy things. And if you dare say otherwise, you're the bad guy. In fact, if you think ICE was right to deport a foreign agitator who has no legal right to be here anymore, congratulations, you are now labeled a hateful bigot. Now, the justice. Let's talk about the justice under an Obama-appointed judge. Okay, the U.S. District Judge Jesse M. Furman, yes, appointed by Obama, and apparently a staunch believer in the rules only apply to some people. So let's break down his ruling. 1. ICE legally detained a visa holder violating the terms of his stay. 2. Trump's administration followed the law by revoking his visa. 3. The judge decided law doesn't matter because reasons? Now, what legal loophole did this judge pull out of his robes? The All Writs Act. This was a law designed to let courts carry out their duties, and it was just used to override national security and immigration enforcement. The balls on this guy. So let's get this straight. If you're a law-abiding American who's late on your taxes, the IRS will hunt you down like a dog. If you're a foreign national openly causing mayhem on American soil, the government will fight to keep you here? Make it make sense. This is a hilarious defense from Khalil's lawyers. But he has a family. Yes, his wife is a U.S. citizen, and they have a child on the way. Congratulations, she's pregnant. But that's supposed to make his actions irrelevant? Listen, if I rob a bank, do I get to stay out of jail if I'm married? If I commit arson, am I immune from consequences because I have kids? Sorry, that's not how the law works, not even close. Well, at least it wasn't until now. So, what this means for the rest of us, let's just zoom out for a second. What kind of message is this sending? If you're an American citizen, the government will punish you for everything. Now try refusing to pay your outrageous taxes. Try parking in a handicapped spot without a placard. Maybe try to take over your local library for a political protest. Let's see what happens. But if you're a foreign national who breaks the law, the government will somehow bend over backwards to protect you? Apparently, activism means legal immunity now? The media will gaslight you into believing this is some kind of justice. Now, PBS says, what riot? He's just a peaceful activist. Folks, this is clown world. We have politicians who don't follow the law, a media that actively covers for criminals, and judges who prioritize political agendas over national security. But you better follow every law to the letter, because if you step out of line, the government will have no problem throwing the book at you. Now, Connecticut just released a cannibal, so why not let rioters stay too? Honestly, is anyone surprised anymore? We literally just watched Connecticut release a literal cannibal, and now we're letting violent foreign agitators stay indefinitely, because a judge said so. If you're a law-abiding, tax-paying American, good luck. You're going to get crushed under the weight of these regulations. Your taxes are going to be forced to fund this kind of nonsense, and the government will go out of its way to make your life harder every single day. But if you're here on a visa, don't worry. There's a lot of things you can do. You can riot. You can destroy property. You can call for terrorism. And a federal judge will step up to protect you. Because in America, 2025, the only real crime is holding criminals accountable. Good luck, folks. You're going to need it. All right, that's enough on this one. Listen, choose your news sources wisely. The old guard of news reporting wants to keep you stupid and uninformed. That's how they can manipulate you. It's just that simple. All right, I have more stories coming soon. Hey, do me a quick favor and tell me which part about this story is the most disturbing. I'll get back to work on the next video. I'll see you soon.